How to deal with toddler tantrums. You ever feel totally lost when your child has a tantrum and you're just not really sure what to do, what not to do? And you feel like, when they reach that age and it's happening all the time, like how do you get past this? So check it out. Do you ever feel totally lost when it comes to dealing with your toddler tantrum? Sometimes they're little toddlers, sometimes they're growing into bigger kids, and you just don't know what to do at this point. You feel like it's so humbling. It's like this incredibly humbling situation where you have this little kid who is completely controlling adults, a mom, a dad, maybe the whole family. You got some teenage kids, they're all trying to figure out what to do about this toddler who is tantruming. So, having these meltdowns are inevitable, they will happen, but there are some essentials to dealing with them properly. So here we go. Number one is to be consistent. Don't be wishy-washy. That means that you decide what it is that's important to you and what's not. So if, for example, they can't, put their feet on the table, so be consistent about that. Don't half the time let them jump on the table and have their feet on the table, and sometimes you don't care. Either you don't care, which is fine, you just don't care, or this is not something that's acceptable in your house and you have to be consistent about it. So that way the child is going to get in their head what's acceptable and what's not. 2, set yourself up technically for success. That means if there's something that your child is going to time and again, like let's say the cabinet under the sink, and you have things there that they shouldn't be getting to. So set yourself up technically for success, which means either lock that cabinet or move the stuff that's under the sink that they shouldn't be touching. Number 3, make a decision in the first 15 seconds when your toddler starts a tantrum as to whether you're going to give in to them or not. But after that, you listen to their side, you say, I hear your point. Okay, maybe we'll do it that way. Or you stand your ground, you say, no, that's not okay. No, mommy said no. And then you stand your ground. After they've pleaded their case one time, in let's say the first 15 seconds, and this can apply to older kids too, you have 15, 20 seconds, you're discussing back and forth, and then once you make your decision, then you have got to stick to it. Because if you let them carry on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half an hour, and they go on, and eventually you give in, they have now learned that this is how you get mommy to give in to whatever you want. Because if they carry on and push your buttons, and then you give in, they've learned a very important lesson on how to get you to give in. So you have to make your decision within the first 15 to 20 seconds. If you say no and then they plead their case and you think about it, let me think about it, okay, then give in, or no. But after that no more giving in. Number 4, only use a few words and be clear. Toddlers, young kids, they don't have huge vocabularies, and it's very hard for them to listen to you go on and on, talk and explain. Just use a few words. Mommy said no feet on the table. And you can just go about your day, and you can reinforce it. You can go about your day, and if you need to repeat it, no feet on the table, feet down. And you just say in a few words what you need done without rambling on and on. That's how toddlers understand. Few words, clarity. Number 5, move on and distract. Distraction is the absolute best game when it comes to kids, and yes, it works with older kids too. Trust me, I have lots of ways to distract older kids. But I had, when my oldest was young, he would have temper tantrums, and he was obsessed with garbage trucks. Okay, when the garbage truck would come, then he would dance. He'd be so excited. He'd run to the window, want to see out into the garbage truck. So I used to use this consistently all the time. He would have a temper tantrum. I'd say no about something, and all of a sudden go, oh, I think I hear the garbage truck. And we'd all go running to the window, and I'm like, we'd look for it and hear for it, and then I'd say, no, the garbage truck isn't here. Oh, let's go get your garbage truck toy, and let's go make the noise, and then we're gonna play garbage truck. And we would totally distract the kid, and he completely forgot what exactly it was that he was tantruming about. Number 6, don't let the tantrum bother you. This is where most of us fall prey to giving in to our kids because it bothers us. They tantrum and they scream and they cry and they kick and they lie on the floor. And after a while, it embarrasses us, whether in front of other people, or it bothers us, or it's annoying to listen to, or it's just aggravating on your nerves. Especially if you have guests over or you're in a public place, it is just frustrating. You have to just make up your mind that it doesn't bother you. It doesn't reflect anything on you, and it doesn't have to do with your parenting skills. This is normal part of raising kids, that they have tantrums and they need to learn boundaries. They need to learn yes and no, and the no's they don't like and they're not so comfortable and they're going to have tantrums here and there. But you have to make up in your mind that it doesn't bother you, because the more that it bothers you, the more they like doing it, because then they can press your buttons and then sometimes you can give in. So you've got to just play it cool. It does not bother you. I'll give you an example. It's a cute story. This summer I was visiting my parents, and we had our car wasn't available that day, and my mother just needed a bit of a rest, and she's like, okay, you could just take the kids out for a while. So I'm like, okay, we'll take, we have to do some shoe shopping, we have to do some grocery shopping, and we'll just go out and we'll take the bus. So we it was a whole trip on the bus. The kids thought it was so exciting and fun to go on the city bus. And we took the bus. We took a couple of changes. We got to the shoe store. We spent a long time buying shoes, and then we went over to the grocery store to get the few items that we needed. Now, by this time, my youngest, who was 4, was a little bit tired and cranky, and it was very hot, and he was tired, hot, probably a little hungry at this point. We were going to get some snacks, and he just had a whole tantrum just walking into the store. We hadn't even walked in. And it was like 1,000,000 degrees outside. We didn't have a car, and I had all my kids with me, so I couldn't just decide, and we needed these items before we went home. My mother's expecting them. So we couldn't just decide, okay, well, somebody will go out and, I'll wait in the car with my 4-year-old, and my daughters will just, buy the items we need. We just couldn't do that because we didn't have a car with us. So we went into the store where it was nice and cool, and he was having a temper tantrum. Now, of course, some of my kids were like, okay, let's get him candy, let's get him this. And I'm like, no, he can have candy when he stops temper tantruming. He can have the treat or whatever that we're planning to buy. I don't think it was candy, but he can have whatever it is, after we behave in the store, then we can go get the items that we want and have a treat. But before that, I'm not just going to give in to this temper tantrum. I don't even remember what he was temper tantruming about. Well, let me tell you, we got some looks, we got some stares, and I even had, I don't remember if it was 2, but it was at least one lady come over and give me her parenting advice because she knows better, and we should take this child out of the store to wait outside. And I said, that's a lovely idea, but it is 1,000,000 degrees out there, and he's dehydrated, and I can't make one of my daughters do that, and it's just totally not fair to the child. We have just a few items, and we'll grab them and go, and, hopefully he'll stop screaming. She had such an opinion. She went on and on and on about how she parented her children and how she knows better and how I need to get a grip on my children better and how I need to know what to do. So you have to be able to just not get aggravated no matter what other people's opinions are or what your child is doing. You have to know that you're doing the right thing. Be confident in what you're doing and not let it bother you, because tantrums come and tantrums go. And your kids grow up, and we all grow to tell stories about these hysterical situations that we got into, and it's now a family story. This trip to the store when my son was temper tantruming and the lady lecturing me. So you have to be confident in what you're doing and stick to what you feel is best in your gut. When you think about it, you're like, what is the right situation right here? Sometimes it is to take your child out of the store, get in the car, and go home. And sometimes it's just to deal with what's going on, have a smile on your face, be confident, don't give in the wrong times, and you'll do great.